As required by international regulations, we always have to maintain a proper lookout. This is done through both radar and somebody actually observing out through the window, usually with a pair of binoculars in their hand.
There was an announcement saying that they were going to be arriving late into Key West as there was a situation happening outside, and so from there there was just a lot of people not really sure what was going on and what was happening, so I went outside to see if I could assist in any way.
The bridge was manned as always with a dedicated lookout. That was Quartermaster Alvin. The officer of the watch that morning was Marco, who's on vacation right now. Assisting him, he had Third Officer Ricardo.
I was on the bridge that morning doing my watch together with one of the first officers that day.
The way I assisted is that the whole of the deck was very, very busy, so we had to clear the whole of the deck down right towards the end of the ship, so then they had a clear space if we did have to bring down the lifeboats or the rescue boats to then be able to assist the people that were in the water.
So we identified the craft, we came back to the bridge, inside the bridge, and First Officer Marco instructed me to call Staff Captain immediately to come on the bridge while he was calling the Captain. As soon as the Captain came on the bridge, he took the binocular, he had a look to the object. I mean, ordered us actually to call the man overboard operation.
There were 5 people on the raft, and from what we could see from the ship, there were probably about 1 or 2 of them were standing up and they had flags and they were trying to wave the flags at the ship to get our attention, even though by that point we'd obviously seen them because we had stopped the ship. But I don't know if it was out of excitement or if they were just like, hey, here we are.
The craft that the 5 people were in, it was obviously a homemade raft made out of 55-gallon drums, a piece of tarpaulin, and basically just tied together. It was very unseaworthy. I wouldn't have liked to have crossed an ocean in it, but they've obviously it appeared that they were coming from Cuba and heading towards the US. So it was a good job that we came across them when we did.
I think Disney Cruise Line handled the response great. They slowed the ship down and we stopped. We turned around and went back by the raft. They actually closed off an area of the deck. It looked like to maybe prepare one of the lifeboats in case we were given the order to go ahead and go down to rescue them.
I called the Coast Guard on Channel 16. I spoke to them, advised them the situation and our position. Initially they asked us to stand by. Once we got a little bit closer and we confirmed that there was 5 people in the raft with their arms raising up and down, which, like I've said, is a sign of distress, we advised Coast Guard and they proceeded. Within 10 to 15 minutes they had an aircraft overhead and they were monitoring the situation with their aircraft. We were in constant dialogue with them over the VHF.
I think the immigrants were probably very, very scared indeed. It's something that I would never want to be put in that situation, and it's a shame that they have to come to that to be able to go wherever they were going to. Obviously they were literally on a raft with a tarp over the top and a motor that obviously I assume had broken down. That's why they were just in the middle of the ocean, so that's just an assumption. But I assume they were very scared. When they saw us, they were very happy to see us, but they were scared.
And probably took about 30 minutes and we had a fast rescue boat alongside to actually look after the 5 people.
But I think it seemed a little surreal. It's one of those things you hear about like on the news but you don't actually see in person. So to actually see the people floating there were a lot of people out with their cameras and we're just kind of wondering more like where the people were coming from and how long they had been there in the water before we'd come upon them.
I think all of the guests that I spoke to and definitely that the other crew members spoke to were very pleased that they'd been involved in this humanitarian operation in actually rescuing these people. I think most people will remember it as part of the cruise, as it was something out of the ordinary, and will give most people a sense of well-being that they actually saved those 5 people that day.
U.S. Coast Guard gives recognition. Disney Magic saves 5 lives at sea. The Disney Magic responded to 5 persons in distress in the Straits of Florida, 21 nautical miles southeast of Key West, Florida on February 6, 2011. The Disney Magic's actions were taken in the true sense of humanitarian intervention without regard to potential delay of service to the passengers or crew aboard the ship. All passengers and crew recognized as heroes at sea.
Disney Magic's actions are heartily commended and are in keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. So thank you very much, and signed Pat DuBois, Secretary.
I'm very honored and proud to be the captain of such a professional crew, which are of course dedicated in delivering a great vacation experience, but also very focused on safety. Thank you very much.
Very good. Thank you.
Captain's log, February 6, 2011. Another commendable rescue by the crew of the Disney Magic. This event should be a reminder to all of us on how precious life is and how important safety is at sea.